man here in the purple shirt. His name is Dave Young. He's a real live engineer. He's going to tell you a little bit about engineering. When I was a kid, so one of my friends, when he was a kid, he noticed that his uncle had like lots of cool stuff like boats and big TVs and stuff. And he was like, what do you want to do? I'm going to do whatever you do when I grow up. And he was like, well, I'm an engineer. And he was like, I have no idea what that is, but you look like you make a lot of money, so I'm going to do that. He's like, I'm still not sure what I do. But so he's here to tell you what engineers actually do, how you might be able to become an engineer, those you're interested in, and a little bit about the program that he does through Boosting Engineering. So please give him a round of applause.
How's it going? So, like Vicki mentioned, my name's Dave and I'm an engineer. I'm here to talk to you today about what it is that I do and what it is my colleagues do every day. So when I say I'm an engineer, specifically an electrical engineer, who wants to venture a guess as to what it is that I do? Yeah?
Do electric engineering.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Anybody else? Somebody said math? Somebody said make money? That's right. Any other guesses? Yeah, out there. No? How are you?
You're in charge of like the lighting plans for like buildings and stuff?
Sometimes, some electrical engineers do exactly that, they design lighting, that's great. So a lot of people, a lot of high school students especially, when they hear engineering, they think, oh, you just sit around and do like math problems and physics problems all day, right? That's kind of your job. The reality is, so far from that idea, it would blow your mind. What I do all day is build stuff that doesn't exist yet. So somebody has an idea, and they're like, oh, you know what'd be cool if I could build something that, as I walk, it generates energy that I can use to power my electronics. That'd be cool. That's a project that I worked on, and nobody had done it before. I was on the team that put it together for the first time ever. That's my job. And yes, I do use math and physics. I use them all the time, almost every day. That's true. But what I do math and physics for is not for grades, and it's not so that I can get, I guess, my boss doesn't care about the math that I do. There's no such thing as show your work in engineering. It's closer to just make it work so I can build a bunch of them and we can all get paid. That's what we do. So there's managers that say, we want to get paid, so Dave, you have to build this by this day, go and build it. Great, sounds good. So that's what an engineer does. They create things. And what's really neat is in the modern world, everything you see has been designed by an engineer. So these bleachers that you're sitting on, right now there's a computer file somewhere with a 3D model of this bleacher model, and an engineer has built it in CAD before it got built in real life. The basketball hoop, wherever it is, that's on a computer somewhere with instructions on how to build it. Some engineers behind everything that you do, the backpacks that you have, the phones in your pocket, those are all stored on a computer somewhere as files that are designed so that they can make not just one, but a million units. They can create lots of things. They can create lots of things without having to design each one individually. That's the game of engineering. So what kind of jobs are there? I do design engineering, which is what I was talking about. I build things every day. There are other walks of engineering life that exist that a lot of people don't even know exist. They think if you're an engineer, you have to be good at math, you have to be good at science, and all you're going to do is either build stuff or do calculations or whatever. And that's true, that's one way to go. But there are other areas that you can focus. So let's say you're super into technology, but maybe your math grades aren't that great, or maybe you're not that good at building stuff, but you still like technology a lot. You could go into a position like engineering sales. So I buy parts from an engineering salesperson. The goal Their job is to understand what they're selling and explain that to me. So they have to be personable, they have to be fun, they have to be certainly patient because it takes me a long time to learn. But there's a position out there for people that are into tech, but maybe not that into design. A similar position to that would be field engineering. So like when Caterpillar sells a giant earth digger, they have to send somebody out with that knows the entire design, is an engineer themselves. Although they didn't design it, their specialty is making it work. So once an engineer builds it, like, this should work, the field applications guy goes out and explains to the customer, all right, you bought this machine, this is how you can get it to work the way it's supposed to. So again, very personable, very fun, maybe not on the level of design engineer doing the same work. There's managers. You can be a manager of an engineering team. And if you're a manager of an engineering team, in order to understand what they're saying, in order to understand how to motivate them, how to get them to work together, an engineering degree is extremely valuable. On top of that, you're credible. Like if your boss is sitting there telling you, hey, you need to get this stuff done, he doesn't even know what he's talking about, you're probably not going to listen to him. So we have all these different positions in the engineering field that are available to all of you that you can chase after. And then from there, there's even different disciplines. So I like electronics. Electronics is like my deal. Other people are into mechanical systems, like the bleachers, or the basketball court, or cars or airplanes. They have mechanical engineering for those people. There's chemical engineering. So if you can right now go and bring oil out of the ground, you are a very valuable engineer. So chemical engineers or petrochemical engineers are a hot commodity right now. If you were into biotech, helping people, maybe somebody got their leg blown off in war, they need to have a prosthetic made, that's a biomedical engineer that's behind that work. Anything that is created in this world, there's usually an engineer involved. So I want to get that idea across, that if you want to create something, if you want to make something that does not yet exist, engineering may be for you. So then let's talk about how you get to be an engineer. You say, you know what, Dave, I do want to be an engineer. I want to make stuff that doesn't exist yet. How do I get there? How do I become the engineer? And the easiest way, not the only way, but the easiest way, the most popular way, is to go to college. Now, who has friends that have gone into an engineering program at a college somewhere? They probably say it's pretty tough, right? Yeah, it's not easy. It's actually really hard. And they designed it that way because they have a lot to teach you in just 4 years. Similar to high school, it should be hard because there's a lot to learn in just 4 years. So you have 4 years to learn all of physics, chemistry, in my case for electronics, semiconductor materials, circuits, thermodynamics, all these crazy classes. And they can't teach you that in 4 years unless they do it very quickly. And they make you work for it. But the trouble with college is the first couple years look a lot like high school. Well, it's different, but the classes look a lot like high school. So what does that mean? We're talking lectures, we're talking homework, we're talking tests, we're talking projects. It looks very similar to high school. And what's unfortunate about that is it's not representative of engineering as a career at all. Like nobody gives me a test to take in my professional career. And it's important to remember that when you're in college, you're taking these really hard classes. Like really hard classes. Like, why am I bothering with this? I haven't even built a project. And they're clever about it too. They say you're going to take a class called semiconducting materials. You think, it's an engineering class. I need to get to do something, or learn something, or build something. Joke's on you, it's really chemistry. Don't think that just because they named something cool, no, it's chemistry. But that's okay because they're getting you closer to the final application. And then once you get to junior, senior year, you get to take classes in the lab where it's like, all right, this week we're going to design a system that controls lights based on music. And then finally, after a couple of years, you get to see this is what engineering is all about, which is great. That's what you want. So while you're doing those first couple of years, and while you're here in high school thinking, man, these tests are hard, and man, this homework stuff is hard, the reason they're doing that is to give you the tools so that you can get out to your junior year in college and actually achieve the challenges that are in front of you. That's the whole point. I'm not a mathematician. Mathematicians have a career of solving math problems. Those are people that love math. And I think that's awesome. They're solving math problems so that I don't have to solve math problems, right? That's what mathematicians do. But I use math all the time. Why? Because it's a tool. It gets something done. It's something that I can do in order to get from here to there. I think of math the same way I think of a screwdriver. Like, I don't feel strongly about screwdrivers at all. But if I need to tighten a screw, it turns out that's the best thing for it. Same deal with math. So I don't want you to get discouraged if you're into building stuff, but you're maybe not that great at math, or you're maybe not that great at physics, or maybe not that great at chemistry. You don't need all of those things. Those are just tools that you can use to be good at one of those things.